You just talked about the Grand Canyon a minute ago and how it's gone to an internationally controlled park. Now, we have a shutdown of our government, and they're crying we're losing millions of dollars a day in the Grand Canyon. Well, if we're paying $50 and they're internationally controlled, who's actually losing millions of dollars a day? Is it us or is it the international corporation that is getting the $50 a day from the Grand Canyon funds?
We already give the UN an awful lot of money.
Oh, I know.
Let alone, you know, the open cuts from things like
So
that.
this is a way to subvert if we were to cut, if we were to say we're gonna defund the United Nations. They're already getting a chunk of us by every $50 that you pay to go see the Grand Canyon. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
I'm not sure what the breakdown of where all that money goes. I'm sure some of it is rolled back into electricity and all that stuff, but you know, the fact is, we have international biospheres, and there's a whole list of them in the United States. You're going to find there's property in places that you used to vacation at. They're not American soil anymore.
Speaking of biospheres, is the San Joaquin Valley and the shutdown they did there, is not San Joaquin Valley one of the Biosphere Project spaces already? And isn't that one of the targets? Is that why they did what they did and killed all those trees? All the
They've
fruit
got
trees?
some other plans. You should check out a website called America2050.com. It's another one of those international consortiums, and they break down, they literally have mapped out the planet and have the United States broken down into segments. And they have plans up there for dealing with the water. Look, just like they did to the farmers, with that little sucker fish there. They created the water shortage, blamed the people, and shut the water out to those farmers. That was a terrible
Kill
thing.
trees that take decades to grow.
That's right. You know, there's a number of things that are impacting our forests. And for those of you who are into conspiracy theories, it's another one of those subjects it's hard to talk to your regulators about, but you can talk to foresters will tell you about this, is the geoengineering. Now, I did some studying in college. With me, it was deformed amphibians. In fact, in Massachusetts, I've got the first documented deformity in yellow-spotted salamanders, the vernal pool. To this day, I can go back and find spotted salamanders with 5 legs and 6 feet. And we were doing some research on that, and some of the constituents they're using in the geoengineering are aluminum compounds. Now, in the water, aluminum ions is toxic to all aquatic organisms. So, yeah, I'm just trying to find out how much of the amphibian declines that we're seeing are UV related for your high altitude vernal pools. And you have others that could be contaminant related that are in your low-lying valleys that get a lot of sediment and rainwater washout. But why are we finding aluminum in high altitude vernal pools, and why are we seeing pH shifts in the soil? That's what the foresters are getting all wound up about. Some of these forest fires they've been bad and out of control, and they said, oh, we've never seen it this bad. Well, aluminum causes the concentration in the needles in the wood itself, causes them to burn much hotter and much faster. It's causing pH shifts in the soil. And it's easy, you know, a couple of people have alluded, well, why don't people understand this, or why don't they see that? You know, when the blurb comes out in the news and says, those people are crazy, those conspiracy nuts, the pH is 7, is fine. Well, to a plant that wants it at 6 or 5.5, it is not fine. You know, like in a 10-second blurb, they can convince you neutral pH, false alarm. And the forests are fine. Well, they're not. And
What's causing the shift in the pH up? I thought we had acid rain, wouldn't that go down?
the aluminum, they're saying, is causing a shift in the pH in the
Where's all
soil
the aluminum?
from the geoengineering.
That's the
chemtrail. Oh, the chemtrail.
With your
Yes.
place.
You know, they've been doing that for years, and they've got patents on it, and it's, you know, it's there. It's an uncomfortable thing to talk about, and that's what bothers me. I was in a discussion earlier before I started talking about glaciation and global warming. It's coming. There's going to be a mile of ice over our head again someday. It happens all the time, and you know, we've got to kind of understand it. These things are cyclic. That many of them do happen naturally. And what frightens me most is government is trying to stop that. Government has gotten up there with Mother Nature and said, we're going to stop your temperature from ever changing. Now that should be frightening to you. Can you, anyone name me a single environment, a habitat, a static habitat, unchanging? The influxes and the outfluxes to that system are unchanging. Can you think of one?
There's a lake below Antarctica about 5 miles down. It probably doesn't have any change.
Well, you know, even those have some changes in far as the annual nutrient loads that go through. But, you know, look at those farmers years ago, you know, they did some dumb things once in a while. And when you plant corn on the same field year after year, what eventually happens?
Ethanol.
You get depleted of a nutrient that's absolutely essential, or a disease comes in and wipes it out.